Excuse me 1 second, folks. Before we get to our scheduled video, I came across some PMs the other day that perfectly exemplify why I'm making this video. And so after I'd edited the whole thing already, I thought it would be dumb to not include these somewhere. So I'm throwing them in the beginning. Here we have user Invisible Kitty going through the normal Guild Wars 2 stages of grief. Starts with rage, then acceptance, then eventually, what's your YouTube? I'm gonna look out for the video. I'm gonna include these whispers in here, but I'm not gonna like go through each one, but you can pause and read what they're saying. Pretty much they lose the fight and then they're just complaining, why are you playing support? Support is boring. I don't understand why you like support. By the end of the conversation, they're talking to themselves and excited to watch the video that I'm making right now. So Invisible Kitty, this is for you. Somewhere in here you mentioned maybe I can learn to like it too, and I promise you can, and I will teach you right now. Hello gamers, I'm Yumi. Some of you might remember me from a decade ago, back when I was making power mesmer guides and montages. These days I play support almost exclusively. Today I'm going to show you why that's actually really fun. Before we get into it, let me say this up front. I'm not talking about, I tried Firebrand in World v. World, I followed a tag, we took middle for it, it was boring. I believe you, that sounds boring. This version of support has almost nothing to do with what I'm talking about today. By the end of this video, my goal is to convince you that playing support in small man PvP content is fun and challenging. So, let's get into it. We've got a lot to cover. Okay, looking at these kind of clips. These kind of fights are inherently entertaining. Why? Because everything in them is obvious. There's no prior knowledge needed to enjoy them. Sure, game knowledge will often let you appreciate good clips more, but it's not required at all. There's an obvious level of difficulty in World v. World that baseline means you're outmanned. There's an obvious amount of skill required. That's a lot of buttons to push in a particular order. I don't think I can push those buttons as well as this guy does, so it's innately impressive to watch. And this is the big one. The impact of that skill is obvious. Huge damage numbers everywhere, red names lying on the floor. You instantly understand what's happening and why it's hype. Builds that let you do this kind of thing are what a lot of us want to play. And that's not just in Guild Wars 2. You can be topping charts in WoW, outnumbered open world PvP in New World, Albion, ESO, whatever. Whatever game just popped into your head when I said that, you thought of it because you remember how much fun you were having. That feeling is why we're doing any of this. But here's the thing. Most of the people still watching roaming videos in 2025 seem to already kind of agree what is fun and what is not fun. It's already been decided. And so, just like back in 2017 when I made this entirely too involved power mesmer guide, I don't think people are seeing the full picture, which is why I'm making this video. When I told you I'm a support main, I know what some of you thought. Oh, Yumi's old. Yumi is washed. Yumi's heart has been softened by the love of his children. Sure, some of that might be true, but what is not true is that support is boring, or that the content about support has to be boring. So here's how I see it. DPS mostly cares about two things in a fight: the target's HP and their own HP. If you volunteer to play support, it is my opinion that everything else is your responsibility. Group positioning, callouts, pre-booning before big damage, making sure your porty boys have stab on the way in and on the way out. You gotta be CCing targets so your DPS can land damage, and CCing other targets so your DPS doesn't take damage. You gotta be tracking your homies' defensives like we're climbing the threes ladder back in WoD. If you're trying to squeeze the most value out of your class, your role, the buttons on your bar aren't really yours. They're the group's. And here's the weird part. This mentality has always applied to high-level healer support roles in all the other PvP MMORPGs, but I think because of how prevalent Zerging is in World v. World, it never caught on in Guild Wars 2. Alright, so here's what we'll do for the rest of this video. I've got one tasty clip with Hobo and I. I'll break it down. I'll tell you what's going on. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you're able to see that playing support is fun too. If you make it to the end of this video, bless your heart. You're a true scholar of the game. Tell me in the comments what we should make the next one, honestly. It could be another fight breakdown. It could be a bigger fight, smaller fight. It could be a montage of line of wording. It could be just like a traditional DPS montage, but green numbers instead of red. Just let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace. All right. This is the hardest thing I've ever done. I've tried to record this like 4 times, and every time it ends up being like 15-20 minutes, which is not what I'm looking for. So here we go. I'm on Valor. Hobo is the DPS. He's in VT. Go look at him. He's playing Power Conduit. These guys don't matter. I'm not going to talk about it. I will talk about this guy. This guy's never by himself. He's always with a bunch of friends. So as soon as I see him, I'm expecting friends. So I'm not going to pop a lot of cooldowns. But you'll see us target him right away. We're not in comms, by the way, which matters later. But we both know we got to kill this guy. He does a lot of damage, has a lot of friends. Here's a warrior auto-tagging us, whatever. All right, here come his boys. Here he is. You'll see me shield 5 just to get his rapid fire off of Hobo. Then you'll see me pop stab, even though it's a stun break. I'm not worried about getting stunned. I'm gonna pop stab for Hobo so we can port over there and kill this guy. So there's the stab. Hobo's got it. It's locked and loaded. Go for it. He's in. This guy pops stone. One of my favorite things to do as support is not just hang out on the sidelines and cheer for Bobby over here. I'm trying to move in like I'm playing WoW, right? I'm trying to secure fears and clones and shit to get kills. So I'm moving in to try and CC this guy. You'll see me go forge 5 because he's trying to do a bunch of damage. 5 will get the blocks. Then after you block, it becomes a daze. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Block, 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 block. Also give Hobo some barrier. Yeah, this guy's an idiot. We still have stab. He's doing all his buttons. But here's the daze. There's the daze. His stone is over. And Hobo's just going to delete this guy. And there it goes. Deleted. Now, this guy does do a lot of damage. You know, talk shit, but he does a lot of damage. So we need to make sure he stays down. So everything moving forward here is to try and keep this guy dead. So I pop stab to go for the stomp. I pop stab too late. I'm already floated. And then anyways, once I'm floated, it gets corrupted. So stab's gone anyways. I pop another stab because Hobo's in here now too. This guy always needs to have stab and preferably resistance because he's the one who's going to do all the damage. So if we're close to each other and he doesn't have stab or resistance, I'm going to pop this. Okay, we're able to get out, reassess. Now, this is not good, right? There's a pile of shitbags over here that are going to try and res this guy. We can swap staff. We can drop our line on it for a little CC, get this guy off a Hobo. And we can hit the 3-2 combo on staff, which is a little heal, a little condi clear. I even hit mace 2 before I swap weapons just to squeeze every bit of value out. Looks like I'm going 3-2 first before 5, but see, that's like free healing on Hobo right there. Now I can do 5. Somebody gets interrupted. We start to get some condis on us. Health's going down. We don't have stab, so this is risky. I don't really ever want to press my heal button unless we have stability. But right now it's either that or RF, which I'm not going to do. So we go for it, and we get it, which is great news. Now, this was a risky empower, but I think the message here is press empower more. I don't think people do it enough. Oftentimes, like, the fight will be over here and I'll be standing here and I'll empower. And it looks kind of dumb, but it's just free value, you know, might, healing. If you're in honor, it's also a dodge for the homies. So just press empower more, you know, that's what I would say. So I was empowering and I didn't have stab when I did it. That's a mistake. So I got CC'd, so I popped my stun break. I got out of it. Now I see some lightning shit here. So I know it's time to kind of get serious. So I'm going to pop RF, get my shit back to make sure Hobo doesn't die. But even though this lightning boy's here, Hobo's got his eye on somebody else. Completely fine. This is kind of a confusing thing that really only comes with playing with somebody a lot. Sometimes it looks like Hobo doesn't have a lot of HP, but I've got a lot of buttons. So if we were in comms, if I post videos of us in comms, you'll hear me tell these guys, don't worry about it. Like, just go, I got you. Because I don't want him to come back to me and be like, get my health up, and then I'll go out. Because I know with these buttons, I'm going to fill Hobo's HP bar in a second. So just keep going, do your thing, Hobo. I'll take care of the rest. There we go, look at that. He's full HP, stab, resist, quickness. He's ready to kill this guy. But I think this guy dodge rolls, so I swapped to Forge, and I hit 4 for the immob. There we go. Immob, looks like Hobo dazes him right away. And then I daze him, and then Hobo immobs him. But that's a sword 4 animation, I think. Yeah, so this guy's not having a good time. So at some point, I think he pops a stun break. There it is. Now he's on the move, but it's too late. Hobo's blood in the water. This guy's pretty much dead. And then another familiar spot, right? Soul Beast on the ground. We're floating midair. There's random shit DPSing us, and we don't have a ton of buttons. We are in Forge though, and we have Forge 5. So it's either that or you sit and wait for these things. So we should just be spamming 5 right now. Looks like we are. Now this doesn't look great. 18 stacks of Dormant and all this shit. But 5's going to cover me pretty well with some barrier. And then if I have a 5 head, looking at these cooldowns here. So this is pretty much off cooldown. I'm going to push it. This is 2.2 seconds. This is 1 second. And this is off cooldown. So we have all the buttons here, all the tools to full heal both of us with stab and Conning Clear. What I should do is 5 to get some barrier and get some breathing room for a second and get the buff that reduces his strike damage. Then I should go, I don't even remember what this is called, the stab that also gives a buff of homies get healed every time they get a boon. So I should go here, then I should go here, because like I said, anytime I press a heal button, I want to have stability. So stab, which also gives the boon buff, here to get a heal off. Then I would use whatever this is, I don't remember the name. Clears Condies gives barrier. That's going to scale off of the healing buff that this gives. So I should go 5E, 3, F1, and then 3 again. So let's see if that's what happens. 5E, 3, and F1 at the same time. And look at that. We are absolutely cooking. Okay. Now we're back on top. And this guy's still dead because we have enabled Hobo to keep the pump. Now, anytime I think that people are attacking me and not my DPS, that's great news. It's easier for me to keep myself alive than it is my DPS. Also, when I know somebody's attacking me and not them, I'm going to try and make a little space, even if it's just for a second, to get these guys away from my guy. So you'll see me just auto run over here for a second and then about face and come back. Just a tiny second of breathing room, so this idiot isn't looking at Hobo while he kills his friend. Because they could have 2 rezzers on this right now, but this guy's like, no, I'm going to kill this firebrand, or this, whatever I am, luminary, because I'm low. Don't do what he's doing if you're trying to kill us. Now, here we go. Just a little space. I'm going to push some buttons here. I think I give myself the staff 2 heal. Oh, the combo, so the 3-2 combo. But I don't wait for it, that's fine. Immediately, I'm using my shield abilities, mace abilities, all the 3 to give us both resistance, and it's a little stab overlap, which I don't love, but it's fine. Yeah, there we go. Hobo's going that way. I'm going this way. I can give him resistance and stab on his way by. I can come over here, just take a second for myself, and Hobo can go do whatever he wants with that resistance and stab, because I trust him. I know he's going to use it. So here we go. Now, this guy should have just gone and killed Hobo, but he didn't. He started attacking me, so I know I have a little aggro. So I can make him even more mad, get a little interrupt. Now he's fully on me, which is fine. Yes, okay, so Hobo's low. This is not good. And this is because, I mean, honestly, it's because we're not in comms. Because when we passed each other here, when Hobo's going that way, I was going this way, we probably both should have gone this way, just together for a second, but, you know, it is what it is, right? Okay, Hobo's getting CC'd, and that's because, right, we're not in comms. We should have gone the other direction. They should have buffed us up, got us stab, and topped him off. Instead, he got CC'd. My stab missed him because he got CC'd. Now I'm running towards him to try and heal him up. But because we're not in comms, he's going to walk towards me and he's going to teleport past me. Yoink. So there goes my barrier to myself. Hobo's over there with no stab, no barrier, no condi clear. So not great. He does kill that guy though. Now, I move in because I need to be closer to Hobo because I'm afraid for his health. I have my eyes on this guy and I might be looking a little too offensive because the move here probably is press Q to give Hobo stab. But I'm already like, I've targeted this guy and I'm telling Hobo I'm going to knock him down because I just know Hobo's ready to move on to the next guy right away. So that's what I do. I swap to staff. I line this guy. You'll see as soon as I line him, I know Hobo's going to pour it in on him and kill him. So as soon as I line, I'm also doing the 3-2 combo on top of my line, even though I'm like auto running over here, because I know this 3-2 combo is going to land on Hobo. Line, 3-2, Hobo's on it, gets the heal, but he doesn't have the stab I want him to have. But the reason he dies isn't because of stab anyways, I guess, so I don't feel that bad. But Hobo just gets absolutely torched here in 1 second. So he got this guy down first, which is great. You'll notice, if we back up 1 second, I'm starting the stomp when I notice he's getting torched. I see all these pop up and I'm immediately scared, so I stop the stomp. I run over there. Now we have this guy on the ground, just in case. You know, it's always, you never want to plan for it, but just in case, we can use this guy to res Hobo. Now this guy's down. I have stab. Hobo's about to die. I should just stomp this guy out. But I panic. Then he goes down. I could have just resed him. I could have resed through all this probably. But luckily past me set me up. I can just go kill this guy. So we do. Now Hobo's up. I have my heal and stab and barrier and more heal and condi clear. So as long as I can get near this guy, this is like where like playing with the support is kind of counterintuitive. Because if he just walks in between these two DPS, I will full heal him and give him stab and he can kill everybody. But that's very counterintuitive, right? So he's just going away. So I land the heal. Yeah, okay, so at this point the fight's pretty much over. We just kill these guys. There's nothing else significant that happens. I think we just kill these guys. Yeah, there's no CCs or any fun buttons that get pushed, but alright, that's it. Get out of here. Go live your lives. Play support. Have fun. Bye.